So this week's episode of Dororo, we get a lot of action, a lot of character development, and also just overall story progression. And I have to say, I really like this episode, especially because of how hard it really hammers in the idea of perspective. Now, every story in existence with an antagonist and a protagonist is obviously all about perspective. But with Dororo, I really find that it's even more so a relevant topic because it really showcases not even just from Hyakkimaru's perspective of why he wants his body back, but you're also seeing characters such as Taho and why they are so bound and determined to fight for their people and ignoring the lives of someone who is family, but also someone who had everything literally stolen from him. I loved this episode. And I could see a lot of people discussing and maybe getting annoyed with Taho because they're saying, like, how could he think his values are more worth than Hyakkimaru? I mean, Hyakkimaru lost everything without even having a chance to live as a normal human. He deserves his body back, and you're right, but you also have to understand that he is the future lord and protector of his people in these lands, and for every body part that Hyakkimaru regains, calamities and just natural disasters keep occurring, and there's nothing you can do to stop it except killing the source of all the corruption. For his father, of course, he did everything for selfish reasons, and the end result of him getting power just so happened to also help innocent lives. However, for Taho, he's becoming bitter, he's becoming cold and ruthless, not because he wants something to be powerful like his father, but because he sees that his people will suffer the longer his brother lives. And I love that because each of these characters are right for believing and fighting for what they're doing. Taho, the future lord of his lands, he's fighting and is willing to toss away his compassionate side so his people can continue to live in harmony and peace, not have droughts and just really natural disasters that ruin their way of life. For Hyakkimaru, he's so confused, like, why would you want to do this to me? And when he learns the truth, he's still bound and determined to get his body back. Everything about these characters and just the story overall is a matter of perspective, and that's what I love about it, because it's such a complex situation that of course I'm going to root for my boy Hyakkimaru. However, I also see the grand picture that there has to be hopefully a way that he can regain his body and these people won't suffer, but you know that this isn't really a fairy tale where everyone gets happily ever afters, and it's a very complex situation, and I adore that. The fights were just great in this episode, the loose line work really allowing for some interesting movements. Just the battles that we saw, both with the shark attacks as well as with the more human-driven combat, it was so interesting because of how much things were moving, how quickly it was, how loose the line work was, so it allowed for really interesting blade attacks and just overall just movements that you typically don't get to see in Dororo because usually they try to keep it as clean as possible, but when you have so much going on screen, having the more kind of like loose animation, it really lets it pop out and you're seeing some incredible attacks. The intro to this episode, just seeing Hyakkimaru come to the rescue just in the nick of time, I adored. We have a character who definitely has grown a lot and isn't just thinking about killing demons, he's also thinking about what's important to him, that being Dororo, and just seeing this shark man who is so delusional, but I do appreciate the small glimpses into his past, seeing that he was keeping what seems to be his mother just kind of around because she was dead and he lost everything that was important to him, and the only thing that really gave him comfort were these two sharks, one of which was definitely a demon as seen by Hyakkimaru regaining a leg at the end of the episode. But I like this because it wasn't an overly complex fight, it was just a really disturbing shark that turned demon, and it was just roaming the lands in a way that is so unnatural, so creepy. It feels like Dororo is going to get eaten, and then Hyakkimaru comes in and basically wipes the floor with it. He didn't struggle too much, but it was really fun seeing him just jump around such a monstrous and large beast such as this, because this doesn't even look like a shark anymore. And I love how they detailed it, I love how brutal it was, and just seeing the crushing realization on this man's face that he once again lost everything and has nothing left to lose. It is just so brutal, and you have to give major props to Hyakkimaru. He once again broke his prosthetic leg, and he has to be so thankful that he regained a leg there, because if he didn't, he would have been screwed, royally screwed, because his brother was coming in charging him with a fleet. He would have been completely screwed. I love that he just got the perfect body part back, and it seems like he might only have his arms, his eyes, and maybe one other thing left that he hasn't regained yet. So it'll be interesting to see where it's going to go. I imagine he's going to get a replacement blade for the one that did break in this episode. But I like the whole, like, first half. Like, honestly, I was ready to call this a great episode just with the first half of this episode because I like the shark concept. I like just seeing this character just go insane at the loss of, once again, his family that he views these animals as, or I should say, I guess, demons, because one was a demon. It was just really fun, especially with the more sweet side of Dororo as well as Hyakkimaru and just the connection, because I think for both of them, they kind of parted ways, not on the best of terms, and who knows if they would ever see each other again. And you're seeing these moments that are just really touching, with Hyakkimaru just grabbing Dororo's cheek and Dororo trying to hide just her happiness, her embarrassment, of course, wanting to be the tough girl, not kind of showing weakness, but really is just so happy. Sure, probably thinking that Hyakkimaru was going in for a smooch, but was just going in for basically a sign of compassion to show you, like, I care for you and I'm not going to leave again. It was such a great moment, and I was like, this is enough for an episode. We're seeing enough here. Let's focus on the gold. And then in comes the brother with that whole concept, which was really nice. Ichichi has to be one of my favorite characters in this show, and it's because of how human he is, how scummy he is, but also how well written I really think he is. He is a greedy bastard. He dies being greedy, but he also doesn't lose who he once was, and also the people and connections he once had. He may have betrayed Dororo's father, he may have been bound and determined to get this gold, but when it counted, he stuck up and protected the people that he cares for, that being Dororo. And I really like that because he is a character who, of course, is bound and determined to get his gold so he can live his life in a way that is good for him. But he also doesn't abandon the connections he once had. I think you just get to see this, like, complex human greed, but also compassion, because humans are greedy, we are compassionate, we have our pros and we have our cons, and he never actually abandoned who he once was, even if he did take the wrong path more than once down his kind of road in life. And I like that. I like just seeing just him so bound and determined to get the gold. And even when, like, everything's going to shit, the explosions, just people firing arrows, getting shot, like, the thing that's driving him is, of course, he wants to at least see the goal before he dies, but he also, when it counts, when he realizes that everything is about to go down, he's willing to shield Dororo, even risking his own life, and it really shows you who he truly is. It's just greed was really driving his character. It doesn't excuse the betrayal of the father, it doesn't excuse all the horrible actions that he's done in his life, but it shows you how human he is and how well written a side character was for this show, and a lot of these side characters are really good, but honestly, even though he makes me mad, even though he's done such horrible things, I just loved how they went about exploring his character and his perspective, and just in his dying moments just being like, there's my gold, and kind of ignoring just what he did, because he wasn't really thinking. His natural instinct was to protect Dororo. However, what he thought he wanted was the gold, when in actuality, I think he wanted a family, just not having to worry about being hungry and scared that you're gonna die because you don't have the money to survive. And that's just such a human concept, especially in a time of war such as this, especially where most lands aren't kind of guarded by demons, where you're always gonna have rain and food and crops, things of that nature. And it's really interesting. This episode blended so many interesting things. You got the Ichichi story, you kind of have the Dororo, Hyakkimaru, and Shark Boy situation, and then you have brother versus brother conflict, and just seeing the gorgeous fight. It was both gorgeous with the shark, but also even more gorgeous when you have more human-based combat. And I'm sure so many people are going to try saying that, you know, it's Hyakkimaru's body, he deserves to have it, but yeah, he does deserve it, but you also understand why a lord would not risk his entire kingdom for one brother that he just met. And it's such a complex situation. There definitely was a few noticeable dips in the overall art and at times the animation, but I think where it counted, especially with how much action was in this episode, I think this episode looked gorgeous. There was a lot of abstract just designs in this episode. The demon was really cool and just barbaric. It was a great episode. Honestly, I think I said last week it was one of the more interesting episodes, but this week was even better. It just blended everything that makes Dororo what it is, the personal stories, the demon hunting, but also those really satisfying moments, especially with characters who we may not like at a personal level, such as Ichichi, but he still really was a well-written and really interesting character to follow. One that, you know, he died, he probably deserved that death, but at the same time, he was such an interesting character to follow with such questionable beliefs and desires, and you can't ignore what he did for Dororo. This episode was great. I'm really enjoying the endgame to the series because you have the gold, but of course you can't really take that large sum of gold. You might be able to take a few pocket coins so you can survive, but what do you do with that? Now we're seeing that essentially the end stages is probably going to be Hyakkimaru regains the final few pieces of his body. They're going to deal with the lands and what happens to it, and then Dororo will probably piece together what she should do with that gold and possibly save these lands or do something completely different. We're seeing where the end stages wants to go, and I'm really excited to see just ultimately how everything is going to go down, because even though you got a shitty ruler, you got a lot of innocent lives at stake, and I think with Dororo especially being the one to hold Hyakkimaru back to not becoming a demon, it'll be interesting to see if the two can not only regain their body but help the innocent people while saying screw you to a father that sold his son into demon's arms. So it would be really interesting to follow. I think the music was once again really interesting. I think just some of the more almost historical and just kind of like instrumental tracks to really just build that kind of like an animal trying to hunt down its prey to just kind of walking and wondering, is the treasure out there? The tracks really bring out a great sense of emotion, and then just the sound effects with how many many swords were clashing and just the pain of stabbing. It's almost at times disturbing when you hear the violence in the show, and then at other times it just sounds so really realistic that you love it. This was a great episode. Honestly, this was one of the top episodes of Dororo for me because of what it does. We have 6 episodes left to go for this show. It really feels like we're going at a steady enough pace. We're seeing interesting one-time characters, but also really fleshing out the past and now the present to this show, and I'm really excited for the future of the series. But for everyone who did watch this week's episode of Dororo, did you love it? Did you hate your favorite moment? Where do you think next week is going to go? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like and also hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.